Well, good morning. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm headed down to one of my southern Iowa farms. I put a couple cell cams out maybe 2 weeks ago, and we're just going back to do a little tweaking, trim a couple branches. That's getting some false triggers, and most of them I put up on, I made mock scrapes. I have some bachelor group deer urine to put out in them. And then I have one spot in the middle. It's kind of like in the middle of the timber. I'm going to spray it and start prepping it for a fall micro food plot. And then after that, I have one more muddy cell cam. We're going to go ahead and jump across the highway and put it up. I got the GoPros with me, so I'm going to try to bring you guys along and kind of show you how I do things. It's kind of hard to get content during the summer, so it's about the best we can come up with, so stay tuned. Alright, well, we're off to the first camera to make some adjustments and put out some bachelor group urine. I gotta walk through the rows of this cornfield here. This stuff's grown probably a foot since the last time I was here last weekend. But this is going to be one of the main spots that I hunt this year. I'm planning on putting up either a muddy bull blind or a muddy bale blind. Back over here, I'll show you guys that when I get a little closer to the time. But this property here, it's not much, but it's enough to work with. Like I said, I got one small spot that I'm gonna be able to put a food plot in. Where the camera's at now that we're going to, I'm gonna have a tree stand not far from it. I got a mock scrape set up, and it's kind of a travel route to where these deer travel from one big piece of timber to the next. And it's just it's basically the fence line, but it's just a tree row that separates the two crop fields, and they travel it like no other. So I think it ought to be a pretty good spot. And then I'm gonna have one other stand up by that micro food plot, and then the blind. But this spot, it's like I said, it's not much, but I'm not gonna be able to hunt it as often because the conditions are gonna have to be just right. The wind's gonna have to be right, everything. But I think when I am able to hunt it, it's gonna be a pretty fun hunt. So we'll continue on over here to this camera and make some adjustments and continue with our day. Alright, well, got that taken care of. Now we're going to head across to the other side, set up this last muddy camera that I have, and go home and spend the rest of the day with my boy and my fiance and do some grilling out. We got about an inch of rain last night at my house anyways. That's 20 miles north of here, but it doesn't look like any rain got down here. I mean, the dirt is like dust. There's no mud, nothing. So we definitely need some rain, but we'll go get this last muddy camera put up and we'll see you then. Alright, well, we jumped across the highway here, this other farm, to put this camera up. This is a big bean field this year. I've never hunted this side. Waterfowl hunted it, but never deer hunted it. It's kind of set up the same way as the other. It's just a big ditch of trees that kind of connect one big piece to another, and it's a big travel corridor. I got one camera up in here a little deeper and started to get some pictures of a pretty decent buck, but we're gonna walk down the edge. Probably gonna put this camera up on the edge. I'm not gonna dip in, so I'll walk down this edge and see if we can find a good spot to put this camera. Alright, well, I got this last muddy camera hung. I got a mock scrape set up here. The camera right there. Mock scrape set up there. Camera's taking pictures, so we're gonna get on out of here and let these cameras soak, and hopefully we won't have to be back in here until we hang stands. Looks like we might have a storm brewing in. I heard some thunder, but checking the radar, I don't think we're supposed to get any rain, but we definitely need it. We could use some. Well, thanks for watching, and stay tuned to the next episode.
Hey guys, out here with my boy Gabriel. Say hi, Gabriel. Hi. We're building new steps on our ground blind here. The old ones were pretty shoddy. They weren't green treated, and I've been wanting to do this for the last 2 years. It's the 5th year with this blind. So now we got some good green treated 2x10s going on, and we're gonna put a new hand railing on both sides, especially with the wife and kids coming out here watching the winter time. So this old hand railing's gonna come down. We're gonna put one on both sides and then close the other side of that deck. Then eventually I'm gonna make a little box to go up there for a propane tank for heaters. So Gabriel's just getting to work here. He's measuring and cutting the stairs, installing them, and I'm just screwing them in. So what better day to spend Father's Day than with your kid doing some projects we both like to hopefully put down some big deer down here. Got to get down here until later. You can go ahead, Gabriel. And then get ready to get some brassicas planted. This is some, right now what's in here is clover with some chicory, very few weeds. That's all clover and chicory. My plan is to convert this over to a full clover plot in the next year or two. So I'm going to leave this, and any of the bare spots I'm going to incorporate brassicas with clover. So just got my boy out here today. We're gonna work on this project, and then we got to get all this wood here split and get ready for deer season.
right, it is the 16th of June. Just got down to the farm again, and it's spray day. We're going to hook up the sprayer to my four-wheeler, and we're going to spray the clover. I got to finish the fence from last week and get that all taken care of. I'm gonna, in the description, I'll put where I bought everything. Pretty much everything was from Fleet Farm and whatnot. T-posts I had around, or I'd collected, you know, from places over a couple years and kind of got them. But everything else I bought at Fleet Farm. I'm sure any farm and feed store you can get them, but that will be later in the video. We're gonna work back on this one, but today it's about spraying the clover. I got 3 plots on this farm, then I got to go to my buddy's farm and spray that one. So we're gonna get this guy unloaded and get going. Well, after some technical difficulties, I think the pump went out or something in this sprayer. I had to run to town, grab a new one, and yeah, we're getting it figured out though. We're making do. So next 10 minutes or so, I'll have everything hooked up and running. I'll kind of give you a rundown of my sprayer system. Well, I got the new sprayer all hooked up and about half full, and now I'm going to put my chemicals in it. So I'm spraying clover. This is tap out. Active ingredient is clethodim. It basically kills grasses. It'll leave your clovers, alfalfa, chicory alone and whatnot. This crop oil. The reason I use crop oil is it helps deliver the tap out and stick to the plant a little bit longer. It doesn't evaporate as fast, so it gives it time to get sucked into the plant and work. And then I am using a liquid fertilizer. This is Jolt, and I'm gonna put the whole thing of that in there. And then the clethodim is about 3.5 to 4 ounces per gallon. So this is a 15-gallon tank. We have about 1.25 to 1.5 ounces of the crop oil per gallon. So I'm gonna get all this stuff measured up, put in there, finish filling the tank, and then we will get everything going. While I'm right here, I'm going to fold out the boom. This is a brand new setup for me. This is a 7-footer, and yeah. So before it was just basically the width of my four-wheeler, how I had it set up, but got a different four-wheeler. Now I got this set up, so I should be able to do it in about half the time, although I'm going to have to kind of see how it goes with this, because this pump is a lot smaller than my old one, so the coverage is going to be different. But I'll be able to adjust on the fly. That being said, I'm going to get the chemicals in there and get going, since I'm about an hour behind from what I was hoping for. All right, well, everything's hooked up in the sprayer. Sprayer's out. I'm going to get the four-wheeler started, prime the pump, and then start spraying. My old setup, I had a switch, which I actually think might be the cause, because I just plugged this pump into the switch and it was nothing. So I may just have to rewire something when I get home, but I did what I had to do for right now. But I'm gonna get it all primed, and then we're gonna start spraying. All right, well, I got pretty much everything that's not standing rye sprayed. We're gonna try something a little bit different. We're gonna crimp it or roll it over when we go to do our fall plots. So we'll run brassicas and stuff out there. We're gonna crimp it, hopefully give it some moisture to help bring everything back up through. I'll probably crimp it here in the next, I don't know, next month or so. I'm gonna try something a little bit different, but I'm gonna put a lot of work into this little spot right here. Trying to get clover and alfalfa to grow over most of it. Hopefully by next year, this will all be, you know, a 2-acre huge clover alfalfa green plot that the deer can use all year round. There's super thick bedding all down in there, and right here I have a hawk office box blind. I have a spot right there that I'm going to put a little water hole, have a mock scrape there, there's a natural scrape right there, one camera right there, and this spot should be money. So I'm going to buzz to the middle part of the field, or the middle part of the farm, and top off the water, and then we'll get that one sprayed too. All right, well, we're back in the backfield, spraying the clover, and this is the same area that I put up the hot fence last week. It is right there. It's offside 360. This spot's awesome, so I'm just working on making it better, prepping it, getting this clover sprayed. I got to finish one last little bit of the line, and then we're good to go. So I'm going to shut this camera off and pay attention so I don't crash. All right, all done at the interior food plot. Normally have a blind right there. Killed quite a few turkeys. Yeah, just a nice little lush clover plot. Huge open canopy, tons of sunlight, tons of bedding that way, and it's just one of them great spots. A bunch of good trail cam pictures, good video here over the years, and it's one of the key spots on the farm as far as access and whatnot. But I'm all done here, done spraying. Now it's time to load up and get out of here. Hope you enjoyed watching this. This is something we're hoping to do a lot more of. A few of us on the team are going to be putting in a little more effort to try to bring you videos like this and help you follow along. Hopefully, after all this is said and done, there'll be a big dead buck at the end of this. So hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.